Indianapolis. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by the Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard. These young ladies have come through the Junior Gold program, the U12, the U15, now into the U18, so they've got some experience.
Absolutely. There is no stranger here to the telecast. You have Jaelle, who I think is a phenomenal bowler, and here's what I think her asset is. I don't think she thinks when she bowls. And I mean that in a positive way. I don't mean that in a negative way. I think it's a great asset to have, as we can all get in our own way. But Jaelle gets up on the approach. She knows what she's supposed to do. She goes from point A to point B, executes, and she is an excellent spare shooter. You have Victoria Verano, who, I mean, her ball speed is such an asset. And again, great spare shooter. And then you have Elena, can do two things. Throw it really hard and straight, which gets you through the matches because they got really ugly during the matches. And yet when she had to make the shot against Jillian, she moved left and was going around them. Mm-hmm. Very impressive.
Yeah, very much so. So those are our three finalists we have for our U18 girls. Coming up at our U15 boys here in just a little bit after this show, we have Edgar Burgos, our number 3 seed, Silas Limes, our number 2 seed, and our number 1 seed, Brandon Bohn, who's won Junior Gold before.
Yeah, again, you're going to see a great telecast because those 3 boys bowl with no fear. They are no stranger also to the limelight. They all bowl Elite Tour, SYCs. They participate in the fact of they watch PBA YouTube, right? Where we've seen the two-handed sensations on the shows, and we are going to see high scores because they know how to adjust to these conditions.
That's right. So if you're watching on BowlTV, stay right here. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, make sure you head over to BowlTV.com. Make sure you're subscribed so you can watch this great final. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Junior Gold Championships 2021 here in Indianapolis. Mike Flanagan, joined again by the Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran-Ballard. And now we're into the U18 division. U18 girls gets us kicked off here. We got 3 great finalists.
So quickly already to the U18? Mm-hmm. We have 3 great finalists. And boy, I'll tell you, with the girls and with the boys, for all of the younger players that are watching, you are going to see some phenomenal bowling and people that you should use as mentors. You are going to see great spare shooters, shot makers, great leverage, great fundamentals. And I think we're going to see some very good bowling. I still predict that left lane, though, just watching practice shots, is still going to be the deciding factor. So it's going to be interesting. Whoever starts the match, whoever's got the choice, what they choose to do.
Yeah, coming up in the first match, we've got Victoria Verano. She's from Stony Point, New York, sister of Danielle McEwen. She's taken on Elena Carr, and she hails from Hilton, New York. So 2 New Yorkers in the first match. And then our number 1 seed today is Jael Hammond. She's from Jarrell, Texas, bowls out of USA Bowl and Lone Star Bowl. So we've got a talented field here today. 3 great shot makers. It should be a good one.
Also, we talked a little bit about colleges. We have Jaelle and Elena going to Mount Mercy. So they're going to be working with Andy Dirks, who they've already started working with. And I got to tell you, phenomenal program that he has built up over the years. He's had a lot of success the last couple of years, but the addition of these 2 players, that is going to be a strong ladies team coming up this season.
Absolutely. It's U18 division. So Jaelle is 18 years old. Elena is 17, and Victoria, 16 years old on today's broadcast. You see Elena, she is actually embracing there with her brother, her biggest supporter. His name is Bradley. He's 20 years old. He finished 42nd in the U20 division here this year at Junior Gold. They are very, very close. During the match play, Elena took out Jillian Martin, a highly decorated player from Ohio. And when that happened, I saw a long embrace with her brother then. So she is riding high. And this is an event where she's taken the next step. She's never made the cut at Junior Gold before, and now she makes the show.
And also, she got very emotional after that match. She was hugging, and you could see tears coming down her eyes. But I have to tell you, this is what I said when we did the Open. She needed to step up and mark. She was actually hooking the lane a little bit, slow hooking it, high flush to win that match.
2021 Junior Gold Championships. Our first competitor from Stony Point, New York, Victoria Varano.
Elena, the higher seed, she elects for Victoria to start the match on the left lane. That means Elena will finish the match on the left lane. A light mixer on the left lane to get things started here in our U18 girls final.
Victoria
And our
picking a
second
ball.
competitor
I
from
keep
Milton,
forgetting.
New York, Elena Carr.
Victoria picking a ball on that left lane that's going to be a little cleaner and smoother, believe it or not. Using a pin down ball, so it's allowing it to read the mid lane. I like that idea because, as you know, the smoother motion that we've seen has been better.
Here's our first look at Elena Carr, 17 years old from Hilton, New York.
Come on, Monster.
Elena playing a little bit further inside than Victoria, a little bit softer ball speed.
You'll notice the hair ribbon that she has, the hair bow. She only wears that because her mom, when she was younger, couldn't find her in a crowd or when she was around all her friends. So she put the hair bow in her hair, and it has stayed ever since.
Kind of like the Julia Bond ponytail, right? Off to the side.
Yeah, or the Verity Crawley
bow.
bow, yeah, that
Correct.
she wears as well.
Correct.
I like the accessories. Got another packed house here in Indianapolis, here at Expo Bowl. Special shout out to all of the bowling centers that helped host Junior Gold this year, a record 6th time here in Indianapolis.
I watched all 3 of these girls bowl. Very good spare shooters and very good execution.
Good shot there in the pocket again. Leaves the 10.
Now, on a normal condition, right, you would say to yourself, okay, half pocket, half light hit, half pocket. I'm going to make an adjustment. But as we've talked about, those are good shots. Filling frames, hitting the pocket. I expect both ladies to be lined up.
Switches to the plastic ball for her spares.
Is that what that's used for?
On this telecast, yes. So Victoria, she comes from quite a pedigree here. Danielle McEwen, her older sister. I asked her, I said, do you feel any added pressure being Danielle's little sister? And she's like, you know what? I'm starting to find my own now. I'm starting to be my own person. Starting to mature, and it really doesn't bother her, she says.
Got a little quick and got out of the ball way too fast. Wasn't able to get around. You could see her motion with her hand. Also, she's using a different ball in this right lane. Everyone on the telecast so far had said the right lane is a little tighter. Left lane, obviously, we've talked about it. Hooking early seems a little tighter on the back. The other thing about Victoria is she did cut her finger. Her finger is like below the crease. So you can see she has it taped up. Doesn't really bother her when she bowls, but, a lot of games this week.
A lot of games this week. It was 16 games through qualifying, 5 more in the advancers round, 5 more in the second advancers round, and then all of the match play games. Different pattern for every round, then a new pattern for match play. So this is our 8th pattern that the athletes have seen. We've talked about it on other telecasts, but just a reminder, if this is your first, players were allowed to check in 5 bowling balls at the beginning of the week, and that's it. 5 balls, and that's what you've got for all 8 patterns.
I've had the pleasure, just She looks just like her sister at the line, doesn't she?
Sure
I've had the
does.
pleasure of watching Victoria bowl over the years. Great fundamentals. I mean, comes from a very athletic family. One of her keys, though, is not to get ahead of herself. Her feet tend to get going a little bit too quick, and then she, like the shot on the right lane, kind of lost it at the bottom just a little bit. The left lane, I think, is going to be that lane where it may take a few shots to get warmed up, just to see where you want to be playing and what is the right ball for that left lane.
So we have Elena Carr. She went to Hilton High School. She was a senior, graduated, as you mentioned, going to be going to Mount Mercy here in the fall. She's also a product of Bowl U with Brad Angelo, one of her coaches, and her brother helps coach her as well. Wow, the 7-pin just leaned over, and it's hanging off the edge of the lane now.
Gets this one just a little bit further right and down the lane. Comes in the pocket, though. See, I like that reaction. I mean, worst case scenarios. Remember we talked a little bit about, I don't really like the left to right moves as much. Maybe pull your eyes back just a little closer, get it to roll up just a pinch sooner. But I like her ball speed. I like the way the ball's getting into the pocket, because I think any drastic move can be a disaster.
3 clean frames on both sides of the scoreboard, all even through 3 frames. You got to like the start by both athletes out here today. Little hand conditioner here, it looks like.
She's very deliberate in her pre-shot routine. You can see she does that every time. Takes her time. Very important to get you into your shot process and get you ready for making the best shot you can.
Ball crept in high, leaves the 3-6-10.
Missed left, and as you can see, she gets around the ball just a little bit more. She has a little more axis rotation. Ball hooks on the end, leaving the 3-6-10. She's going to use her strike ball to shoot at it.
Probably increase the speed a little bit. She's still using her wrist brace, though. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Perfect. A lot of different ways to shoot or to spare. That's one of the great things about bowling. You don't have to have a perfect style. You can be unique. The key is repeatability.
Absolutely. And I say this all the time when we're doing a live stream. With good fundamentals, you can incorporate anything.
Victoria comes in a little light, leaves the 10.
Much better shot right here. Her hand more behind it than obviously Elena, playing the lanes a little bit different, a little bit straighter, using her ball speed to her advantage, using a ball that's very smooth. Again, subtle moves, I think front to back, not left to right, the way the girls are playing the lanes.
Perfect. Perfect execution at the 10-pin. Still got 2 clean games through 4 frames. Only 1 strike up on the board, though. 2-pin advantage for Victoria Verano. Victoria is joined here with the support group of her mom, Susan, dad, Rob. course, her sisters Gianna and Danielle. Danielle also her coach. Gets a break. Pretty good shot off her hand here. What do you see?
Not bad. Gets it. Look at how it just hit the tracer, right? We've seen the reaction on this lane when it's 1 to 2 boards right of that second tracer. It rolls up into the pocket, just beautiful. Little bit left, gets the trip 4. Again, I think she's got great ball speed. I'd stay right there and just increase my ball speed just a little bit.
See Danielle McEwen on hand. Coach and sister. Dual duties today. Not Elena's best shot. Leaves the washout.
Really twirled this one just a little bit too much on the side, and also got a little bit further down the lane to the right. Just not a good shot.
So an open frame, our first open frame in our opening match. Elena still yet to throw a strike on the board. Got a pretty good look to the pocket through the first 3 frames. Looks like she's making an adjustment to her wrist device. Taking a deep breath, a little reset here.
The first 3 frames, when the ball came in light, it seemed like she got around it, but stayed underneath it just a little more before she got around it. That one just seems like she got on the side of it a little bit too quick.
Nice rebound here, gives it a fist pump. Double high five to her brother.
I agree with you, Mike. I think she dialed up the wrist brace just a little bit, little more rotation. Again, there's our favorite spot. Just getting it to the right of that tracer, it rolls off the pattern perfect.
Victoria with the lead. Looks good. Packs the pocket.
Great shot for Victoria. A little more end over end roll. Smooths out that back end reaction. Perfect.
High flush. So a double now for Victoria. Looking to make it 3 in a row. And a roll of the 2-pin. That ball looked like it just didn't want to pick up.
That right there, way right down lane, but it never read the pattern, but gets a trip 2. We've seen it all here at Junior Gold, haven't we?
A big break there. So play in the right part of the lane. When you're playing the right part of the lane, breaks can come your way. Wrap 10 there for Elena.
Great shot by dialing up that wrist brace. It's given her just a little bit more motion to the pocket. Right here, ring 10. Changes balls to shoot at the 10-pin. But again, even when I watched her in her matches, have to step up and make a great shot, she didn't look afraid. She looked calm as a cucumber. You know what I mean? Just got up there, did her job. She goes 6-3, makes a decision, bang, bang.
So max score of 210 now for Elena. Victoria Verano can still bowl 257. Going at a 2-teen pace. Had a chance to talk to Elena before the match. She says she likes bowling so much because it's misunderstood by so many people. And she says, I'm misunderstood by so many people. Not everybody loves my outspoken personality and my loud voice. Thought that was interesting. Well, her last 3 shots have been outstanding since she made the adjustment to the wrist brace.
Perfect shot. I love the look that both girls have on the lane. Victoria going a little bit straighter. Elena has just a little bit of angle right in the front, like we've been talking on each telecast. Just trying to keep it in front of them. And again, using bowling balls that are smoother so that they can leave things that are spareable, because it's about just hitting the pocket and being consistent.
6 into the 10. Victoria Verano is rolling here in match number 1.
Great shot by Victoria. Kicks the 10 out last minute. Her hand, just like Danielle, her hand's very soft at the bottom. She's a little more up the back of it, a little more rolly. Again, to combat that middle part of the lane and the back end, and uses her speed to her advantage.
Right through the nose, fortunate just to leave the 6. So remember, a max score here for Elena, 210. Victoria here, if she spares it, we'll have 186 in the 8th with a spare working. So she'll have 196 without the first ball in the 10th to count in the 9th. So just going to need some clean frames here. Victoria will move on. Well, it's pretty simple here at this point. Elena has to step up and strike out to have any chance at all.
And we've seen that before. Someone striking out, forcing someone to mark in the 10th, right? So it's never over until that last ball is thrown.
She has to strike out. Victoria just in a count situation now. Six doesn't take out the 10, and that's going to be a 3rd place finish for Elena Carr. 17 years old, great event. She's going to be able to put this on her resume and build her game as she goes into college bowling here this year.
Again, she may bowl 180, but she looked like she bowled a better game. I have a story about Elena that Rob Gottschall just told me. So he thinks it's around 2015-ish, whatever, when she, well, let's see, how old is she? 17, yeah. He said I think she was 13, and I believe her brother was attending the Turbo Collegiate Expo. She wasn't old enough to participate, but she came to the seminar for the parents about ball motion and learning about surfaces and things like that, and he was one of the presenters, and he said she showed up at 13 with a notebook and asked more questions than the parents did in the seminar. And he said, I am not surprised to see her in the finals because she was just a sponge. She just wanted to learn, you know, and just, which again tells you something about, you know, goal setting and learning and educating yourself so that you can become that better bowler that you want to be.
Everybody watching it wants to become a better player. It's a great tip right there. A lot of knowledge available out there nowadays as well. In both video form and written form.
You never stop learning. It doesn't matter.
Started bowling because her grandfather bowled, the whole family's bowled. A rich tradition within the Carr family. Nice shot to finish it up. I also failed to say that Elena also plays tennis. She's a first team all-county for 2 years, loves Serena Williams. I don't know why this happens to do with anything, but she's a Buffalo Bills fan. Well, it's because her brother is as well.
She had a great week. Everything she has been working on is finally coming together, and I think she, again, is going to be a great asset at Mount Mercy.
Victoria Verano, as we mentioned, will be advancing. She'll be taking on our tournament leader, Jael Hammond. If this is your first telecast to watch us here on BowlTV, we've been bringing you a few of them here today. Just want to let you know that this is a true double elimination bracket. So Victoria will have to win twice against Jaelle. Well, it doesn't matter.
Let's give a big round of applause to our third place finisher, Elena Carr.
211 to 168 is how we're scored on the scorecard. When we come back, CDB is going to talk to our second place finalist.
I am here with our third place finisher in the U18 girls division. Elena, your highest finish here at Junior Gold. Okay, we're going to start with the match that I think changed everything for you this week. You knocked out Jillian Martin into the losers bracket. I watched that 10th frame when you had to get up to mark, and you were fearless and high flushed that shot. Did that change your confidence?
Definitely changed my confidence. I went into this year's Junior Gold knowing that I had improved myself as a bowler, but I wasn't sure how much, especially after not having last year's competition. So I walked up to that match knowing that she was one of the best in the world, at least in my age category, and I knew no matter what I did, she was going to put up strikes. I had to either match her or just walk out, and I decided that I wanted to be there, and I didn't want to give up.
I think it was awesome. I mean, I got chills just watching it. But the amazing thing is, and I want everyone to know this, is then I watched you bowl another match, and you were playing further right, and you had a great look. So the versatility in your game has really improved. Who has helped you with that?
I definitely want to credit that to everyone that's ever really coached me. I've been coached by a lot of different people in my area, Rochester, New York, the Rochester Bowling just Association in general. Everyone there has been amazing and helped me really figure out who I am as a bowler and how to change who I am as a bowler depending on what I need to do on the shot. And recently I started working with Brad Angelo and Bowl U. Mentally changed my game completely. That was just a couple months ago, and the changes have been immense and just great. I can't thank him enough for everything he shared with me and everything I hope to learn from him in the future.
Well, I think you're going to have a great future. I hear you're going to Mount Mercy here in the fall. Coach Andy Dirks, one of the best programs in the country. What are you looking forward to most in college bowling?
In college bowling, I'm really looking for, I wanted to go to a big school. I wanted to go to at least a big bowling school, one that would help me grow as a bowler, not going in as the competitor, but going in as somebody who needed to become a competitor at that school. And that's what I really wanted to learn how to do, is be able to not only compete with my teammates, but be able to compete against my teammates.
Well, it's funny because you're on the show with one of your teammates coming up this fall, Jael Hammond. So you guys are going to have a great team, and I wish you the best of luck. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Carolyn. Elena Carr, our number 3 finisher here, finishes third at Junior Gold 2021. We had 558 entries in the girls division. They were cut down to 80 and then to 52, and then we took it down to 16 for our match play bracket. Down to 3 here for the show, and now down to 2. Coming up, we're going to have the U18 boys. 1,166 entries in that one. 167 was the first cut for the first advancers round, 64 for the second advancers round. And then the top 16 was our match play bracket. So we're looking forward to bringing you that here coming up on BowlTV, where we'll see Edgar Burgos, the number 3 seed. Silas Limes, our number 2 seed, and Brandon Bohn coming up here in just a little bit. CDB, what do you think about this upcoming match, Victoria versus Jaelle?
I think, of course, as you know, I'll wait till he's done.
From Stony Point, New York, Victoria Verano.
I think we're going to see a good match. I think both ladies are going to bowl fearless. They've done that all week. One of the assets, again, to both of these ladies, and Elena also, very good spare shooters. And as you could see, execution. Execution was key. They kept the ball in play, and that's what Junior Gold is all about.
Jaelle had lane choice to start, and she is having Victoria start on the left lane. 2:10 to start the match. Remember, Victoria has to win 2 games here if she were to become the champion.
And remember, the last shot she had on this left lane, she came in light, and now she left the 210. Interesting that Jaelle is making her start, which means Jaelle now will finish on the left lane.
We got a 2-year age difference here. Jaelle's 18, Victoria's 16.
Oh, from
baby.
the back.
Bounces it out of the back.
Oh, wow.
And our number 1 seed
Look at
for our
this.
television finals from Gerald, Texas, Jael Hammond.
Hits it hard enough. There's that ball speed, kicking it into the wall, bouncing it right out, or I should say the back, right?
Yeah.
And bouncing it right out.
What a break. Here we are, Jael Hammond now. First look at her. Beautiful shot, opening shot for Jaelle.
You're going to see both of these girls play the lanes very similar. They like to go very direct.
High backswing.
High backswing, has a little more axis rotation than Victoria, but very smooth off her hand. She gets her thumb out really quick. She's soft with her hand, likes to keep the ball in play. I'm going to tell you, I said to Susan Varano, as a matter of fact, I said, the reason Jaelle bowls well, she doesn't think, and she always keeps the ball in play, and she's a great spare shooter. That's why she's leading this tournament.
She's perfect through 2. That's a double. You see her coach, Josh Modello, back there. We also want to give a shout out to Josh. He is a proprietor at USA Bowl, has also hosted a Junior Gold, or been a Junior Gold venue for us in the past. Thanks, Josh. Light again, another 2-pin.
You can see when she comes back with her hand, even though she's a little more up the back of it, it's just a little bit of a mishit. Didn't quite roll through it all the way. Leaves a 2-pin.
If she's
Again,
consistently leaving a 2-pin, Carolyn, what is the move? Do you soften with the ball speed? Do you go 1 and 1 right? What would you do?
right now, with the flatter pattern, I personally would play it front to back. So I would move my eyes closer to me first. If that didn't work, I would soften up my ball speed. But again, I'm not sure that really wasn't one of her best shots. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think she's going to make the adjustment, because I think she just kind of lost it at the bottom a little bit, and I think she's just going to remember to herself, stay firm.
I know you've watched Victoria Bowl quite a bit.
Yes, and as you can see, old.
Yeah, it says her favorite Pro Bowler is Danielle McEwen, and then her oldest favorite Pro Bowler is CDB, whoever that is. Light high. Light high, kind of the ball reaction right now for Victoria.
Well, and that happens. You mishit it on the right lane just a little bit. So, of course, what do we make sure we do on the next shot?
Overcompensate.
We overcompensate. We make sure we're aggressive. We make sure we stay firm. And, of course, the left lane is very touchy.
Covers it the hard way.
Right here, hits that 3-pin just enough to the left. Wouldn't say the conventional way of making it, but she gets a break.
Is it going to read it? All right, flat 10.
Very high backswing is part of Jael's game. Got that one just a little bit further right. When you get just a little further right, doesn't quite get there, leaves a flat 10. She's going to change balls to shoot the spare. High backswing, but if you watch Jael bowl, she holds it just a little bit, but then it's soft coming down. She doesn't really just pull. And that's very unique because a lot of times when you're really lagging the back, the first thing you're going to do is pull down on it.
That's the tendency. So clean through 3 frames. Advantage right now for Jael. Jael is joined by her mom, Ann, her dad, Steve, her boyfriend, Trevor, here as well. And we talked about it earlier, her coach, Josh Modello, also back there helping her out here on the broadcast.
Yes, Josh runs a great Saturday morning program where all of our kids participate, pulling on sport patterns.
Keeps the pins low, sends them left to right. The result, a strike.
Right here, and she actually got that one just a little bit further left. It held light pocket. And again, I think that soft hand just allows the ball to float. I'm telling you, the light mixers on that lane are just as good as the high flush.
Absolutely. We've seen a couple of 7 pins on this pair on the left lane and 9 pins when you hit a little too flush. There's a light hit as well, resulting in a strike.
Much better shot. Stays with this one, much more aggressive. Gets that ball just to the spot where it gets up there. Light hit.
I just want to
blows the rack.
I just want to say that bowling's got a bright future with talent coming up. This Junior Gold event, been here for 2 weeks personally. So many great youth bowlers.
I just noticed something also. She now is using the ball she was using on the right lane. She's now using that on the left lane, which is a ball that's going to hook up just a little sooner. Which is why I know she was using it on the right lane, because that right lane is a little bit tighter. So what if Victoria did move her eyes closer, that one looked a little soft and to the left, I would make the move left now with her. And hers, I would do a parallel because she can amp it up and keep it in play.
Parallel left.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I wasn't specific on that one. You are correct.
Victoria is clean through 5, keeping herself in the match here. Still anybody's match. Championship round here. Final match. Could possibly not be the final match if Victoria were to pull this off here, as it is a true double elimination bracket match play. Here we go. Jaelle gets the light hit to strike that time. Last time on that lane, the flat 10. This one here, you see the ball come in, hits the head pin, bounces off the wall. 4 and the 7 to fall last. Good pin action.
So one key to this left lane, right? If you get it too far right, it doesn't quite get there, right? But when you miss left, there's hook. It looks like Victoria's making the move to the left, but if you look what Jaelle did, she's further right. That could be the key to take this left lane out of play.
Almost an identical hit that we just saw in the right lane, but the 7 not to fall.
Another good shot by Jaelle. A little bit further right of the tracer. She can get it down to 7-8. Comes in light.
She sent 3 or 4 pins over that way, just none of them took out the 7. You can see clearly that's a pin down layout on that ball. Let's go at her spare. Rolls it right over the holes, helps deaden it out.
Goes straight at her spares again. Another asset to her game. And I know you always mention this, and I'm probably getting ahead, but before we forget, I mean, look at this bracket. Annalise O'Brien, Brooklyn Boudreau, Madison Colston, Victoria, Amanda Najokas. I mean, these are stout U18 bowlers.
Loaded field here.
Just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, just a reminder, folks, if you want to check out all the scores from Junior Gold, you can head over to bowl.com, click on the Youth tab, go into the Junior Gold Championships. All the results are there, not only from this year, but all the years past. Junior Gold been around since 1998, the largest youth bowling tournament in the world.
One of the things I think Victoria's running into right now is, do I adjust off the mishit and do what I want to do to the ball and move, or do I soften off my hand and just make sure I roll through it? Because right there, she was a little more aggressive with it, and the ball didn't quite get there. I gotta tell you, oh, another ball change. She's going back to the ball she was originally using on this left lane.
Good move, good adjustment.
Good adjustment, made the move in just a little bit. Gets it more to that track area, out to 9-10. I'll tell you, everyone has played the tracer, right? That's our favorite little word in the same area. Have you noticed that even with all the U15 boys, same thing.
That one's right.
Got out of that one very quick, didn't quite catch it. Way right of where she had been playing. Leaves herself the 2-8.
Max score for Jaelle, 246. Max score for Victoria, 235. Not an easy spare.
I was just going to ask you that. I'm going to go, hey, do you want to shoot at the 2-8 on this?
No, I don't.
Kind of like the 3-6-9-10. And I did mention names earlier. Can I give my daughter a shout out too, because she made the top 12.
Absolutely. I watched her bowl a little bit. Her game's really coming along.
Yeah. I always put her on the back burner when I'm talking about bowlers. I feel like I should give her a little plug. And she's good friends with both girls. Much better shot. Ooh, little emotion from Jaelle. She's usually very reserved. Always has the same look, very calm, and we see a little reaction. There she goes. She's liking that.
Yeah, Victoria up against the ropes here a little bit.
I'd say this is a big shot. kind of set the pace.
Really needs a double here. It's got a hook. It's got a hook. They call that the PBA washout.
Yeah, her last few shots on this right lane, light. The washout just did not look like her, you know, her execution, especially compared to the previous match. A little bit more firm. She was a little more direct. Seems like she's going away from the pocket, but just looks like she's losing it a little bit at the bottom.
She was just an inch away from picking that spare.
Shot at it the right way. Think you're going to clip the head pin there.
Just barely. So max score now for Victoria Verano, 197. Jael's going at a 216 pace. Strikes in the ninth just to keep Jaelle honest here.
Fantastic shot. That's something I like to key on is they let that shot go. The bad shot's gone. She got back up on the tough lane, which now hers really reversed. The right lane has become tough for her.
So here's Jael Hammond up in the ninth. Looks good. Another pocket hit. I got to say, both girls have bowled tremendously well here in this final.
And I think it was smart of Jaelle to play further right on this pattern, take it out of play, especially that left lane, because she did not have problems with the left lane at all.
.197 max score for Victoria Verano. Jael Hammond here. Needs 6 pins on her first ball to wrap it up.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say she's going to get 6. She's going to strike. Okay, I like it. I think she's going to hit the pocket. I can tell you that. That's it.
Now with that shot right there, Jael Hammond, she's your #1 seed. She's undefeated in the bracket, and she's your 2021 U18 Junior Gold Champion. Let that set in a little bit, Jael.
And again, let's just mention it. Going to college, Mount Mercy. I think Andy feels good about his recruits.
She had a top 10 in 2017 and 2018 in the U15. Breaks through this year in the U18. And bowled tremendous on this tough oil pattern on our championship pair.
And what I'd also like to say, too, is great example of how you can play the lanes a little bit straighter, right? Don't have to have a super high rev rate and be extremely successful, and extremely successful on hard patterns.
Throwing it down the middle, hard and straight, all for good measure. And there's the recipe, if you want one, for Junior Gold. Bowl a clean game, hit the pocket, and good things will happen. There she is with her dad, Steve, mom, Ann, and Coach Josh.
What good people, just such a great family. And we're going to see a lot more of Victoria Verano as well. What a great athletic game. Just like her sister, works out. Fantastic leverage into the line. A lot of power. A lot of power, and she's only 16.
Victoria just getting out of the way here. Letting Jaelle have her moment as the champion.
Let's give a round of applause for our U18 Girls Division 2021 Junior Gold Champion, Jael Hammond. Let's keep that round of applause going for our second place finisher, Victoria Verano.
Final score 225-163. When we come back, Carolyn's going to talk to Jaelle, and I will talk with Victoria right here on BowlTV.
I am here with our U18 girls champion, Jael Hammond, and oh my gosh, I am so excited for you. I'm good friends with you, obviously, because I see you on Saturdays. We live in the same area, or I should say same state, correct? But tell us, I want to know right now, what is your secret to staying so calm?
Honestly, I was just like, just don't look at what they're doing. It's me against the pins. I should just focus on my game.
Well, I said, here's the thing about Jaelle. She bowls as if she's not thinking. You get on the approach, you point A to point B, and you're an excellent spare shooter. What are some of the things you've been working on within your game?
Since 2019, I actually missed cut to the final advanced round by 2 pins. So I obviously worked on some of my weaknesses, which was playing inside, and that really saved me this year. And then, of course, practice spells always.
Well, you're going to Mount Mercy here in the fall, as is Elena, so your teammate. What are you looking forward most to your college experience?
Definitely trying to balance the workload, but also actually bowling on a team. I am homeschooled, so Texas doesn't allow homeschoolers to bowl. But I'm looking forward to traveling and bowling part of the team.
Well, excellent display there. I have to ask you one more question. The left lane was giving everyone a problem. You look as if you chose a stronger ball and to play further right on both lanes. Was that your game plan from the beginning?
It was, because when we were practicing on the warm-up pair, everything just kind of skidded. But when we got to this pair, everything, my coach has always told me, try the gutter, see if it works. And it obviously did. So we just found a good ball shape and just stuck with it.
Well, it worked, and you were stellar. Congratulations again, Jaelle, and good luck this year. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. I am here with our runner-up, Victoria Verano. Victoria, before I ask you a question, I just want to tell the folks at home, Victoria here's had a lot of success at Junior Gold. 2016, she finished 7th in the U12. 2017, 7th again. Then came back in 2018 and finished 9th in the U15, 3rd in 2019 in the U15. Now U18, you finished 2nd, so you know what's coming next, right?
Got to win it all next year.
Right? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's a common trend, so you might as well go with it, right?
You have had so much success at Junior Gold. How is that even possible? That is an incredible performance over the last 5 years.
You just got to put all the work in, and you get what you give.
So let's talk a little about out here today. What happened on the lanes? The first match, you got a few breaks out there, I got to say.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I mean, that 210, trip 2-pin, you had some good stuff going on.
Yeah, I did. For the second match, transition hit. My ball wasn't doing what I wanted. I wasn't as confident in what I was doing, so I wasn't making the greatest shots. But you live it, and you learn from it, and then you move on.
Yeah, you come from, a great family of bowlers. Obviously, Danielle is your sister. It's hard not to talk about that.
Yeah.
What are your aspirations in bowling? Do you want to go on to follow in her footsteps? Do you want to bowl on tour?
Yeah, I do. I want to do exactly what she does, except better.
Except better. I like that. We talked a little bit earlier today. We didn't spend a lot of time together, but I asked you the question, is it tough being able to live up to the expectations, being Danielle's, sister?
Yeah.
And what did you say?
It is really tough because everyone's expecting me to be as good as she is, but they don't realize I'm like 13 years younger. But it actually helps me because she's been through everything. So now as I'm going through it, she gives me the tips and tricks, but I'm just trying to make my own name for myself, so I'm not going to be Danielle McEwen's little sister anymore.
I like that. But you do get a lot of support from
Yeah, I
Danielle.
do.
Can you tell us and share with us what that relationship is like?
Danielle's like my best friend. She's my coach. She's everything you could ever ask in one, and she just helps me with everything and anything that I would ever need.
You got a great support system as well at home with mom and dad too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I know this probably doesn't feel great. A little dejected from your performance out on the lanes, but
Yeah.
it's a joy to watch you compete on the lanes. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my parents, Danielle, and just my whole family for giving me so much support.
All right. Well, I anticipate if you continue with what you've done in the past, next year's your year.
Yeah, I'll be back. Don't worry.
All right. That's it for Victoria Verano here from Junior Gold. When we come back, we will be having our U18 boys division here on BowlTV. All right, let's bring it back into the booth. Mike Flanagan, Carolyn Doran-Ballard back with you here as we get ready for our U18 boys final. But right now, you know what time it is. It's time to give away a bowling ball to our BowlTV community. This time it's from our friends over at Motive. Motive's going to give you a ball of choice. I've got Aaron Smith standing by. I'm giving him the text right now on the air and letting him know that we are ready to go for this bowling ball giveaway. So here's how it works on BowlTV. If you're new to us, you want to minimize your screen. There'll be a little thing that'll pop up that'll say giveaway is about to begin. You'll get a countdown. Then you'll have an opportunity to click the submit button, and we'll randomly select a winner for that Motive bowling ball. Hey, we want to thank Motive for everything that they do for this event. There's continued support of the Junior Gold Championships. Good luck on the giveaway. Now, as we move ahead into what we're here for, the U18 boys division, Carolyn, we've got 3 great finalists. I know we say that every single time, but these kids work so hard to get here. And this division is huge. 1,166 entries. We cut to 167, then down to 64, down to 16. Now we're down to 3.
Correct. And again, I am predicting that they are going to make the right adjustments. We do have a left-hander on this show in Brandon Bohn. So again, we may see a little bit of what Kai did. One ball on one lane, one on the other. As I'm watching them warm up, all 3 have tried urethane. We've talked about that because after watching the 3 shows, we can see that we need to control the pocket. That's the ball to do it with. Will they use it the whole show? I'm not sure. But each one of these, it's funny, 16, 17, and 18. We have someone going to Newman University. One is undecided but has 2 on the list. Brandon, well, he hasn't really thought much about it, but Indiana Tech right here, it's right down the street, as a matter of fact, not very far. McKendree, one of the great things about Junior Gold is these talented athletes will be an asset to any team, and each one of these boys has a great asset. First of all, Brandon Bohn.
Number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed, speed. He can throw it hard. And one of the things I'd like to see is if he experiences any transition or major transition, will he just get on top of it and just throw it harder? The other 2, same thing, but here's good spare shooters. And we've talked about that on every live stream. But it's amazing that you can hook the ball that much, have that high of a rev rate, and still be a very good spare shooter.
Yeah, opening match, we've got Edgar Burgos, and Edgar, no stranger to Junior Gold competition. He was a 2016 champion in the U12 boys. He's going to be taking on Silas Limes in the first match. Silas, another accomplished bowler. Team Puerto Rico.
And also Dexter All-American this year.
That's
on
right.
Silas. I mean, so again, one of the things you're seeing with a lot of these athletes, they're actually thinking of college, which is education, which is important, and I'm a big proponent for that. 2, they already have experience.
Yep.
And Dexter All-American, and you look at some of these GPAs, these athletes are all-around athletes. They do community service. You're helping their fellow youth programs by Howell Lanes. The Bohn family has a great youth program there. I mean, always giving back. So, you know, our sport is looking bright, but we're also producing good human beings. And I think that says a lot about bowling and a lot about the parents of a lot of these athletes.
I mentioned Team Puerto Rico for Edgar Burgos. He is on Team Puerto Rico on the national team, both the youth and adult. But I think it's important that we also talk about, and we didn't talk about it during the U18 girls, but the top 4 qualifiers from qualifying, that's through the advancers round, earn berths onto Junior Team USA. And then when it comes to the show itself here, the top 2 finishers will also earn berths onto Team USA. So Edgar Burgos is a U.S. citizen and is eligible to be on Team USA. I was talking with his dad a little bit and with Coach Stephen Padilla back there, and it's a tricky situation on what's going to happen there. But that is at stake here tonight. They will figure that out. The other thing that I need to mention is if you qualified in one of the top 4 spots and you made this show, then for the next spot to be available, okay, I'm trying to make sure I explain this the right way. For the next spot to be available, if you're in the top 2, so you're already on because you got on through qualifying, then it goes to the next qualifier, not the next person on the show.
An example of that, and we did not know it, Victoria Verano had to win that match. She makes junior team. Elena does not. The extra spot goes to number 5 in qualifying.
Correct.
So yes, perfect example.
Perfect example. So that's what we have here for you tonight. A little confusing, but that's what the rules are. That's what it states. So some Junior Team USA spots on the line here at Junior Gold. And you're right. You talk about ages. Edgar Burgos, 17 years old. Silas Limes, 18 years old. Brandon Bohn, 16 years old. Brandon won this event in 2017 in the U12 division. And Edgar, a former champion in the U12 division. Now, Silas is kind of my pick here tonight.
Ah, okay.
He's a valedictorian.
Oh, wow.
He is so smart. He values education and already has 18 credit hours going into college.
Wow. And I mean wow on that.
And he's committed to Newman University. He lives in Wichita, and he's going to go to Billy Murphy School.
Absolutely. I know exactly where it is. Very familiar with Newman University.
I'm also not real familiar with his game, so I'm looking forward to watching him bowl here tonight. He's kind of a newbie for me. He's the oldest on the show. And valedictorian. That's incredible.
Very traditional bowler. You'll see that as the telecast begins. But we have 2 right-handers, 1 left-hander. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but not a 2-hander. What's happened? What's happened to the world of U18? 10 made the top 16. 10? Oh, 10. Is that true? Okay, but we're being told 10 made the top 16, so all is well in the world. Just making sure. Love it. Love it. By the way, I'm not a hater. So,
hey,
I'm all in.
Congratulations to KD Mesher, who won the giveaway here today, the Motive Ball. We'll be getting in touch with you. Our marketing department will. Congratulations. Glad you're watching here on BowlTV. We see you guys in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're from and who you're rooting for here tonight on our final TV show here from Indianapolis 2021 Junior Gold Championships. It's been an absolute blast. So many entries again in the U18 boys, 1,166 entries. Just to make it to the top 3 is an unbelievable accomplishment.
Did you notice anything while the boys were warming up? Did you notice anything?
Outside part of the lane?
Yes. Do you think they were watching?
I think they were.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. We'll send it down for our announcements.
Edgar, you ready? And now it's time for our U18 Boys Division Final Stair-Step Match Play. Our first competitor from St. Charles, Illinois, Edgar Burgos.
Folks, get ready for some pen action over the course of the next hour. Edgar Burgos, 17 years old, from Puerto Rico. His dad, Edgar, is here. Mom, Yamitza, and Coach Jean Perez. Ooh. The 8 stood up and just walked backwards, and the 10 stands. Great opening shot here.
Opens up his shoulder. Boy, he gets on it at the end. Yes, it did. Went straight back, didn't it?
Sure did. Vertical didn't stay down and through the shot. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Quick tempo to the line. Piece of cake. Just like it's practice.
And our second competitor from Wichita, Kansas, Silas Limes.
Silas Limes, as I mentioned, he's a valedictorian, smart as a whip.
Only wants to go to college for 1 year, starting to get his credits now.
Yeah, you know what he told me? He said, I'll probably end up being an accountant unless I grow 6 inches taller. Then I'm going to go to the NBA.
There you go.
Loves watching the NBA. He also loves throwing strikes, and he's got one here to start the match.
Chose urethane. Just right up the back of it. Playing a little bit more of the track area. Going to be interested to see where he plays here on the left lane.
Silas is here with his mom, Lisa, his dad, Scooter. Beautiful ball.
Another example, right? Just kind of rolling it off his hand. Not very much rotation. Controlling the lane. 10 in the pit. I love the different styles. I love the different styles. I love the different options. We talk about it, how they're just so far advanced. In the last 5 years, it's just been incredible.
Ball hooks up, grabs a handful at the bottom.
Anybody look nervous to you?
No.
No.
We got 2 past champions on the show. Looking to win again. Silas has not won. You hear a pin drop in here.
Wow, opens up that shoulder. And just as it comes down, watch this.
Just unloads.
I'm going to think eventually he may have to use his legs just a little bit. Put a little pressure on the back there.
Silas, not as much revs. Consider him a straighter player in today's modern game.
Right, and I don't know if he's trying to throw it that way because, again, you know, I mean, he is throwing, I believe he's throwing urethane, and definitely does not want to grab it or come around it. Wants something very controllable. So, again, just kind of getting it off his hand a little more, almost a little more behind it. To control the back end, correct.
Yep, throwing a resin ball at a spare, interesting enough.
We've seen a couple of things on the telecast, haven't we?
Yeah, they've used a variety of cover stocks across all brands. our funny game of bowling here. If you look at the scoreboard, folks, both players have missed once, but there's a max score of 290 still on the board for Edgar, 277 for Silas.
Flat 10, good shot. Again, going from about 12 to 8, 9, keeping it very straight. And this is where we talk about, so now what does he do, right? We talked about that. Does he move left to right or back to front? All I would do, slow it up a little bit. Get it to read a little bit sooner.
Interesting, he throws a reactive ball across lane at a spare. Typically, folks bring a polyester ball or use urethane to throw at the spare. We know he has a urethane ball in his bag, but clearly misses that by quite a bit. .75 in the fourth for Silas. Edgar getting ready to work here in the fourth, working on a double.
Wow, did you see his foot turn and everything? Got a little quick on that shot. Ball speed keeps it in line. Look at this. Gets way to the left of his head. Foot turns dead to the right.
We talk a lot about fundamentals here on these telecasts, and Edgar's a bit out of control at point of release.
He's got a little movement going on, and that's something that I think, especially as he gets into college, that will probably be something that they work on, is just making sure that upper body stays a little bit more still and he uses a little more of his lower body and allows that swing to be a little bit more free where he's not holding on to it as long, because you are correct. As you whip down on it, his whole body is moving. But he's awful strong.
And he's got great pin action, great power, and a great look on this championship pair.
Right here, that was a much better shot. Again, hard and straight.
Yeah, right on top of it.
Absolutely.
He's repeating.
Which is very important.
Yeah, one's got to go. Leaves the 2-8.
Got that just a little right. I do think he needs to get around it just a little bit, especially with the urethane. It's not going to overhook. So just kind of get around it just a little bit more to allow it to get up and into the pocket.
The theme of this event in all age groups is to keep it around the pocket and pick your spares.
Correct.
And that's how the players got to the show. And it's not like that. Leaves the 2-8 and misses the 2-8. So 83 in the fifth. It's time to collect yourself. Draw a line. Process what's happened, but leave it behind. One shot at a time, moving forward here. Nice look from behind there.
Much better shot. He's telling somebody probably, don't worry about it. Or don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But he does. He walks from right to left, which, depending on if he does it the same every time, which it's looking like he does, can change your angle in the front just a little bit. And right now, you don't really want to miss to the right, especially if you're not getting around it, because the ball's just not going to get there.
Well, I'm impressed by Edgar.
Using everything he has, every ounce of energy to just throw his body and hand into that.
Told me his dream job one day would be to be a sports agent. His favorite MLB player is Javi Baez, also from Puerto Rico. Plays for the Cubs. Well, he knew it off his hand. Missed right.
Like you said, he
airmailed it.
gets a little quick, and you could see he really was off balance with that shot, missed way right. And that will be one of the tendencies you may see is when he gets a little too quick, and he's holding on the ball way back here, it's going to be off because the momentum, it's not matched up. So, and again, a lot of movement at the top and at the bottom. So when you have a lot of moving parts, more can go wrong, right? So I think as he gets more mature with his game, because it's already a great start, he will learn these little things that he will add to his toolbox to make him even a better player than he is now.
It's a 54-pin advantage right now for Edgar through 6 frames. Silas is going to need to find a way to throw a lot of strikes here to finish out this game if he's going to have a chance. It's pretty good.
Definitely a much better shot. He did not look like he drifted as far left on that shot as he did on the last one. So again, that's something that he'll look at going to, college. Again, something they'll incorporate into a game. That's where you start to really, if you start with a solid foundation like all of these athletes are, by the time they get to college, it's fine tuning. Another good shot, just keeping it in the pocket. He's repeating. He's keeping it in the same area, that track area, out to about 8-9. Leaves the flat 10.
I can't help but sit here and watch him throw a urethane ball down the lane, and I can actually see the inserts rotating around the ball. It really reminds me of throwback 1980s watching the PBA Tour
the
PWBA Tour. A little power there, bouncing that 10-pin out.
Much better shot at that spare. He was very aggressive. Flattened out his hand. And, he had a good start. A little bit of nerve still. I contribute that to everything. There's a lot on the line. We've talked about it, but each one of these athletes, you don't know if they've committed to a college, so they feel like all the colleges are looking at them. And, of course, their parents are there, and you don't want to disappoint your parents. And, of course, you have your own goals that you want to achieve. It's a tough week. It really is. And then you make it to the show, and it's like, okay, by the way, forget about all of that, and I have to win. It's the pressure it's pretty intense.
Just grabs a handful at the bottom, gets it up the lane.
Drops that ball into the swing, and then just gets around the side. Gosh, it's a great ball roll.
Can we record that maybe?
I know. I'd like to slow-mo it,
I
honestly.
want to put that on a commercial. Let's send that to the Olympic Committee. Hey, Netflix, you looking for a new series? We got one for you.
Well, that basically sums up the match. And what I'd like to also point out is he is a traditional bowler, right? Puts a thumb in the ball. But I bet you he's got a pretty high rev rate, too.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Derek Oaf a little bit, the way that he bowls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that shot? It looked like Silas got a handful for him on that one. Looked like he got a little more on it.
Well, we said to get that flat 10 out, especially with urethane. He could probably get around it just a little bit. It should not overhook. What's the worst thing? Maybe a 4-pin? So same thing. He can get around it a little bit and get better pin carry.
Silas Limes has bowled an excellent game. He's just getting beat. Ran into a buzzsaw here today. Still a max score 212. Very respectable on TV here. This always happened to me when I bowled.
Oh, your shoe?
I was getting ready to throw a shot in the 10th frame.
Yeah, sure.
You know, on TV, Carolyn all the time.
Sure.
You know, and I got to
TV.
tie my shoe.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that once. Do you remember the years, and I don't even know how many years back it would be, but you'd say to somebody, do you even throw urethane anymore? And everybody go like this. No, are you kidding? Right?
No, I sold that at a garage sale.
And everybody now looks and goes like this. How many did you bring?
I got a couple blank ones in my house because you can't find them anywhere right now. That's what it's been like for the last year anyway.
His last 2 shots were very good. Again, you called that one, just getting around it a little bit more. But he kept the ball in play. He really did stick to the game plan. I think they were watching the girls' bowl and saw that Jaelle moving further right really took the pattern out of play, and she could hit the pocket consistently. Look at this. Great shots.
The folks at West Acres Bowl, they're proud of him. He actually works there, works the counter. Wants to give a shout out to his brother and his grandparents. And he told me that he had to definitely send a shout out to his girlfriend Zoe and her family watching at home. So there's your brownie points.
Right there, you see it, kicking out the 10. Again, with the 2 missed with the 2 missed spares, got a close match. So we talked about games at Junior Gold, right? And unfortunately, the spares will cost him this match, but he bowled phenomenal to get here.
Well, Edgar actually posed that shot a little bit. Stuck it a bit at the line. Wasn't as out of control. Same result. Can still bowl 267. What do you think Brandon Bohn's thinking right now? Our top seed.
Well, there's nobody on his side of the lane. Again, it goes back to this. You create what you want, right? I think we will see him try urethane. The look that he has right now, though, when he gets it a little bit right, it just sets right up, and he's got a little hole to the left.
You know, I'm thinking about bowling the USBC Open Championships next year. I'm looking for a doubles partner. No offense, CDB, but I think I'm going to give this guy Edgar a call.
Are you?
See if he's available.
Okay.
Or at least when he's eligible anyway. He's 17. I'll let him bowl here one more year. What an incredible performance.
Let's give a big round of applause and congratulate our 3rd place finisher in the U18 boys division, Silas Limes.
Great performance by Silas Limes. He bowled awesome.
Just a few moments for our championship match in the U18 boys division.
In just a moment, we're going to have Edgar Edgar Burgos taking on our top seed Brandon Bohn, but before we do, we'll send it down to Carolyn Doran-Ballard here in just a moment for an interview with our third place finisher, Silas Limes.
One of the things that you decided to play further right, I was wondering, did you watch any of the matches, previous matches, and see how the lanes were playing?
I did watch some of the previous matches. Some of them, I saw some of them playing a bit up the lane and some a bit inside. I tried both reactive and urethane, and I felt that I'd be able to make more consistent shots with urethane than reactive on this pair, so I just went with my gut and stuck with urethane.
Well, you bowled fantastic all week, but I want everybody out there to know what these all-around athletes are all about, and if I understand correctly, you were valedictorian, and he has also 18 college hours going into college. Okay, and you will be attending Newman University. So what stirs you about education? I'm a big education person, so what stirs you about education?
I just pretty much feel that education is an important thing for everyone. Everyone needs to be able to make smart, educated decisions. There's a lot of countries and different places in this world where ignorance causes a lot of issues, and then people get in power and just take advantage of it. So I find that education is one of the best ways to fight off that power that people use for bad things and just make the world a better place.
What is your major going to be?
I'm going to be an accountant. Yeah, I know, shocking. I really like math. Math was probably one of my favorite subjects growing up as a kid, and I just really love numbers. My mom's an accountant, my brother is, so might as well just join them.
Well, I think you're going to change the world. Great bowling this week. Best of luck for you. Best of luck to you at Newman. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Carolyn, as Brandon Bohn continues to practice and get ready for this championship match. Remember, Brandon is our top seed, so he will have to be defeated twice. Folks, we're going to step away from the coverage here for just a moment for a word from our sponsors. Welcome back. 2021 Junior Gold Championships here from Indianapolis. Mike Flanagan and Carolyn Doran-Ballard here on the call with you. We are set for our championship match.
Boys final, looking to win 2 games to become the champion. From St. Charles, Illinois, Edgar Burgos.
So Brandon Bohn, being the top seed, chooses who starts and finishes the match on what lane he elects to start the match on the right lane and make Edgar start on the left lane. Edgar's locked on both lanes. I really don't see much difference here. I believe Brandon has a better look on the left lane. That's why he wants to finish there. Complete guess, but that's what I think.
I would agree. Edgar had a good look on both lanes, so I don't think he really even thought about it.
Edgar picks up right where he left off.
And the top seed from Jackson,
straight
New
up the
Jersey,
track.
Brandon Bohn.
Now remember, Brandon won junior gold back in 2017 in the U12 division. He's no stranger to this. Looking for his second junior gold championship, 2 different divisions.
And you also heard Silas say that he did watch some of the previous matches to see how the lanes were being played.
First look at Brandon Bohn. I'll tell you what, he hit a growth spurt in the last year. I haven't
Yes.
seen Brandon in a while. Big growth spurt from Brandon.
Definitely much taller, yes. But again, ball speed to his advantage, as well as Edgar's. Standing on top of it, using urethane, as we can see.
Now he got around that ball on the spare, causing it to hook more. He's already going to grab something here.
It was in his backpack, so I don't know if it's a bowling ball. Might be some tape.
Looks like tape, yep. We've actually got a vantage point of it right here from where we are.
It's amazing how your thumb and your fingers change as you're on TV. Or you throw your practice shots and everything feels great, and all of a sudden 2 frames later you're like, oh, I need a little tape.
We haven't seen too many re-racks or any gamesmanship throughout these youth shows so far, really. The Bird Dog Messenger comes over and takes out the 7. Look at this pin action, Carolyn.
You don't throw pins like that with urethane all the time? And I
No.
don't think he's getting around it as much as he can.
Well, you said he's got that speed. Ooh, I'm surprised that ball did not have the 6 connect onto the 10. Off his hand, I thought it might have even been going a little bit high.
No, I got that one a little right, but don't forget now, he's been playing this, he's been repeating, playing the same zone, could be getting a little tighter for him. And as we heard with Silas, all he did was move just a little bit right with his feet. That could be one of the thoughts that Edgar might be having, because I do think off his hand that looked like a good shot. On each telecast, it's been interesting because you haven't really seen anybody trying to really get around it, right? It's been all about, and I know, again, a lot of people go, oh, but when it hooks on the back end, it looks so cool. Yeah, but it can get you in a lot of trouble. And I think one thing you've seen throughout the telecast is the same thing about filling frames, balls that are just smooth, the motion that you can control. And of course, that's been with some of the ladies and with the guys, of course, has been urethane.
All right, another 10 pin. Some carry issues here in the 2nd and 3rd frames from Edgar.
Another good shot. He definitely is repeating. I would love to have Specto right now, so we could track it, see. But I liked those 2 shots. I would bump his feet and just maintain that ball speed. And when we take a look at Brandon's game, you'll see the same thing as Edgar. High back swing. He waits on it just a little bit, but smooth off his hand. Throws his arm into it, the front of the elbow, just kind of unleashes on it.
You know, urethane balls create a bit of lane shine and oil saturation. And it looks like Brandon's ball has a little bit more of that than Edgar's. Throws the head pin at everything on the right side of the rack. The pins stand no chance.
Right there, look at that leverage. I'm not sure if he's as low as his dad, though.
No, certainly not.
He's definitely not as low as his dad, and his rev rate's a little higher. But the fundamentals. Well, his mother's a good bowler.
Yeah,
everybody always forgets about Leslie.
I know. That's the hidden gem in the family. She holds everything together, but out on the lanes, Parker tells a story where they went and bowled one time, and he was supposed to be the showman, and she whooped him.
Exactly. I believe it. Taking those light hits, blowing those pins around. And again, we've talked about this. I would not move. Stay right there. Worst thing, move your eyes back a little bit. Don't move left to right. Everybody using that look of moving further to the right and left of the pattern, which I like because you have seen that getting to the pocket has been more consistent. The spares you leave are all makeable. So definitely making the right decisions. Got that into the lane a little bit sooner. Barely got the 5 out on that one. Watch this. Gets it a little right. See how it picks up a little sooner. Half pocket 5.
So Edgar strike, 10 pin, 10 pin strike, 4 shots in the pocket. Brandon high, and then a triple.
Edgar's still undecided where he's going to college. I find that. Oh, he's a junior. He'll be a senior. He's got 1 more year. Jeez, I think everybody's just ready to graduate. Jeez.
Yeah, Brandon's got a couple years.
Mm-hmm. He almost fell down on that shot.
He did.
So right here, you're going to see where he gets way ahead of himself. Keeps the ball on, keeps the ball on line, and of course, I think that has a lot to do with his ball speed too.
Yep.
But that right there is something we're talking about when you don't have that good leverage going down into the line, and there's all that body movement. Those are the things that can go wrong. A lot of moving parts. Again, some great things about the game, yet the moving parts and not using the legs and using more of that upper body is something that I would definitely try to calm down. He got around that one. Got around that one just a little bit more. Look at his hand behind it and then just dead getting around it. And he's still not getting around as much as he can.
And I think we need to make mention, it's the assumption here is you know, this is Parker Bohn III's son, the bowling family, the Bohns. We saw Sid on the show earlier today. Justin also was leading this event in the same division at one point. Justin's got a great YouTube channel where you can see Brandon and what they call the crew. Make sure you check that out on YouTube.
So right here, gets that one left, but doesn't quite. Now remember, he was on top of it going light, light. That last shot he got around just a little bit more, goes high flush. So of course, we talked about this earlier on one of the telecasts. So when you do get around it, and you didn't really mean to, what do we usually do the next shot? You don't quite catch it as much, right?
Yep.
So I think that was simply just a miss hit.
Gets 4. Max score for Edgar, 269. Max score for Brandon, 266.
These next 2 shots, he turns this into a 4-bagger. We have continue to have a good match here.
Oh my goodness, is that going to hook? Ooh, lucky that one didn't fall into the channel. This
Right
is
here, his
worst
feet
shot.
his feet get going so fast. And then the swing was just up in the air, and he just lost it at the bottom.
Chances are about 50-50 he picks this up.
I was going to say he's going to use a spare ball, but as we said, I don't know. It's the same thing.
So an open frame, the first player to waver in this match, 113 and a 6 now.
He needs to regroup, go back to what he was doing in those first few frames, and it seemed as if even though he was keeping that quick tempo, it seemed very smooth. The last few shots, a little unsteady on his feet, a little too quick, and definitely the one shot pulled down on, and that one he just missed.
Feeds it to the track.
Much better shot. It looked like his tempo was much more even on that shot. That looked more like one of the shots in the first few frames.
Well, Brandon knows what's going on here. He knows he controls his own destiny. He's in a good position here halfway through the match. Ooh, wrap 7.
Great shot. Again, getting around it just a little bit. He liked that one too. Putting more tape in.
Yeah, and I talked to Brandon a little bit about his game, and I asked him, how has he elevated it? How has he gotten better since the last time he won at Junior Gold? And he said, you know what, Mike, I was a little not so even temperamented. I kind of got a little too amped up. I let things get to me. Now I'm much more even keel. Try not to react when bad things happen and try not to hoop it up too much when good things happen. Says I've grown up a little bit.
And to even admit that and know that you had to grow up or mature a little bit within your game and yourself, pretty big.
Yeah, also, I got one for you, Carolyn. On our bio sheets, it asks, what do you want to be in life? And Brandon says he wants to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier in the week when he was bowling, I said, hey, he really grew up. He looks like he's an entrepreneur. He just started a tech company or something like that, right, with his look? He owns a landscaping and power washing business right now.
Wow.
He power washes driveways, cuts grass. He wants to expand it.
So even though he's the only left-hander on that side of the lane, you're going to see some transition. Ball's getting down the lane just a little bit longer than it was in the beginning. Of course, as you said too, urethane balls, they started with surface, getting a little bit of lane shine. Again, all I would do is get around it. I would not move. He's in control of the match. I would keep doing what he's doing, and again, just get around it a little bit.
All right, nice cover. Brandon's also got a finish on that lane, and that was his choice. Which comes into play a little bit here. We've got a max score for Edgar at 233. Brandon going at a 223 pace, but Brandon can max out for 243. Brandon's still messing with his tape. I don't know if he's just organizing it or looking to get another piece. Just killing some time over there.
Taking his mind off his bowling. I think he's going to put another piece in. Much better shot on that lane. Very aggressive.
Picture perfect.
Even though that foot turns to the side, when it turns to the side and it's steady, that has been his best shots.
Foundation frame. Edgar will finish the match. Make a good shot here. Get your strike up on the board. Sit down and see if you get an opportunity.
Right, this is a big shot here.
Beautiful ball, perfect shot.
He has bounced right back after that shot on the right lane. His next 3 shots have been just like this. Calmed himself down. Think he got just a little too quick. You saw a lot of movement. Those last 3 shots have been perfect.
Well, he sits and waits. He's got 233 left. Brandon can bowl 243. No doubter.
Great shot. He's had this lane down. Big shot here in the 10th.
243 the max.
He's gone light his last 2 shots on this lane. The 6 count.
And the 3-9.
Right, the bucket. I think he just missed it a little bit. Then I threw it a little bit hard, but I would just stay where you are and just make sure you get around it.
Wow, collapses the 6-10 out. Very easy to do after coming in light twice. Take a look at this, Carolyn.
Gets a little bit slow with that one, but gets the break and trips out the 6-10.
Notice no celebration, no real emotion.
Game's not over yet.
We're having our first re-rack.
Taking a moment because it's not officially over yet.
No.
Right? So he needs to make a good shot here. This second shot locks up the championship.
Yeah, the situation is this. Brandon Bohn on this shot locks up the match. 9 spare would give him 232. Give Edgar an opportunity to throw up in the 10th frame and throw 3 strikes to win by 1 pin.
And everybody who's watching, again, pre-shot routine, going through his breathing. Almost the identical shot. It looked identical. But this time, the 10-pin stands, missed a little right. Thought it was a little bit softer in the lane, just a little sooner, but gets the break. And now has given Edgar the chance to win by a pin if he spares.
Okay. So Brandon has posted a score of 232. Again, paint the picture. 3 strikes in the 10th game. In the 10th frame, Edgar Burgos will bowl 233.
And we will go to game number 2.
2 balls and 9. We have a tie. That's all Edgar can ask for. This is what you practice for. This is the scenario you play out in your mind over and over again as a youth.
Oh, got that one a little right. Rolls up to the pocket, but leaves the blower 7. It was a great shot.
And Brandon Bohn is now a 2-time junior gold champion. He won in 2017, and now wins here in 2021 in the U18 boys division. This was a great match.
Excellent match, excellent bowling, and great shot making.
Let's give a round of applause to your U18 boys 2021 junior world champion, Brandon Bohn.
There's Justin, Sydney, Leslie, Doug Kent,
And also a big
Chrissy
congratulations
Kent.
to your runner-up in the U18 boys division, Edgar Burgos. We do ask that you stick with us for just a few moments. Spectators, we do have a special presentation coming up after our photos here with the winner of our U18 boys division. So please stick around for just a few more moments.
Congratulations again to Brandon Bohn, 2-time champion here at Junior Gold. Carolyn's going to talk to him here in just a moment. I'll also talk to our runner-up, Edgar Burgos, here in just a moment on BowlTV.
I am with Brandon Bohn, the U18 boys champion, and I want to say you're kind of a repeater, even though it's a different age bracket, correct? U12 was your first championship. Okay, first shot of the match, you go a little high, back it up with the 4-bagger. Any adjustments?
Well, the first shot I just lost off my hand, and then the bucket after that and the 3-9 after that, I just kept losing off my hand. They were getting so hot on the TV set. I just had to put some tape in it, and it worked out in my favor.
Now, did you watch any of the previous matches? And if you did, it really did good because there were no other left-handers. So what was your game plan coming in, and did you stick to it or did you alter off of it?
Well, I really didn't have a whole big game plan. My game plan was just to make 12 great shots and hope it worked. So, I really don't know what to say, but that was my game plan.
All right, what were some of the keys to success this week?
Staying patient. Don't get ahead of yourself. Short socks. I wore long socks on the first day and went 58 under, and I never looked back. With short socks, I know Aunt Chrissy loves it, so I did it for her.
So again, you are superstitious, is what you're trying to tell me.
Very, very, very.
Okay, and as we move forward, we know you come from a bowling family. What are some of your goals?
Oh my God, this is at the top of the list. I don't know. I mean, this one was up there. After a couple years ago, losing in match play, and I just wanted to take it all the way this year, and that's what I did. So.
Awesome. Well, you bowled fantastic, and we're going to see you more often, I'm sure of it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Carolyn. I am now joined by runner-up bowler here. Put on a great show for us, Edgar Burgos. Edgar, what was that experience like for you?
It was surreal. Just glad to be a part of it. Came up a little short, but it was really fun.
Man, you bowled so well on this telecast using the urethane ball.
Yeah.
How would you rate your performance?
I'd give it an 8.
You give it an 8?
Yeah, just because the washout wasn't the best shot.
Yeah?
Yeah, just an 8.
Just an 8.
Yeah.
Well, you hail from Puerto Rico. You're part of the national team, both on the youth and the men's side. What's it like representing your country in competition and here at Junior Gold?
Well, representing my country is the biggest honor I could have as a bowler. So, honestly, I take I acknowledge the fact that I am carrying my flag every tournament I go, and I do it all for my country, my family, my friends, and I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Let's talk a bit about that championship match, right? Bowling against Brandon. Brandon bowled a big game at you, but you bowled a good game too. Were you watching him bowl throughout the match?
I was looking, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of his look out there?
It was good. He had a pretty solid look. I had a pretty solid look. It was going to be a tight match all the way. I knew that. I knew I had to be very conservative, and I knew I had to make big shots. I just came up a little short. That's fine.
You had some folks here with you watching today. Who was here watching you, and who's your coach?
That's a tough question. My dad has always been my coach, so I won't say he's not my coach. But I want to thank John Perez coming out here this week, the entire week, waking up at 7 in the morning 3 times to come watch me bowl, help me out. So I'd say I have 2 amazing coaches and family and friends that came watching.
That's awesome, man. A lot of people like you. You've networked very well. You're a great young man. You're a tremendous bowler, and we're looking forward to everything that you bring to the sport of bowling moving forward.
Thank you.
Good luck in the future, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, we're going to send it back down to the lanes now. Got a couple more announcements, I think, here in-house. Okay, folks, we're getting ready to be set for a Team USA presentation here, Junior Team USA presentation. We're going to have that for you here in just a few moments after a word from our sponsors. Mike Flanagan and Carolyn Doran-Ballard back with you here from Junior Gold. Carolyn, I'm sad and happy at the same time.
I'm sure you are. Get a little stir crazy after so many in a row. I know how it goes.
But I'm also sad because Junior Gold is over.
Yes, and I have to tell you, I enjoy watching all of the different divisions and just seeing how the talent pool has just gotten deeper and deeper. And again, it's a tribute to the industry in general for having the tools available to give these kids an opportunity to become the best they can be. And bowling is, I agree with you. You said something earlier, bowling is looking bright, and it is. But again, I want to state an all-around athlete, because a lot of these kids, they're going to college, they're smart, they're starting their own businesses, and you know what? That speaks volumes.
It sure does. And USBC, it is the future for the sport. And if you want to find out information about the 2022 Junior Gold Championships, which will be in Grand Rapids, Michigan, you can head over to bowl.com, check out the youth tab, and find out about Junior Gold 2022. If you found this video online and you want to take an interest in bowling, you can find out so much information and get so much help at bowl.com. Carolyn, any closing thoughts here as we sign off the air for the last time here from Indianapolis?
I'm amazed at how this event continues to grow, and there's so much interest in it. And it is true, for as big as we think we are a small community. You come here and you don't see people of course, because of COVID, but, let's say you didn't see them in a year and you show up here and it's like old home week. I mean, it's all about family and friends that are just like family. And this is one of the best things about bowling is the friendships that you do make. And again, I want to state something that we don't focus on a lot, but a lot of scholarship money given here this week, which is going to help a lot of athletes go to college later on down the road.
Yeah, the USBC had $500,000 in unclaimed funds that were actually distributed through this year's Junior Gold Championships. I'm glad you brought that up. Folks, we couldn't have done this broadcast without a lot of folks to put this on. So we want to thank the USBC and the USBC board, the BPAA and the BPAA board. We want to thank our great bowling ball partners as well. Storm, Rotogrip, Motive, Brunswick. We want to thank Ken and Kathy Keegan. They came all the way from Las Vegas, Carolyn. They sat in the front row. They watched every one of these
yes,
matches with us. I Am Bowling, powered by Logo Infusion. We want to thank the folks at Kegel, of course, and as well as Nick Hoagland, who designed all the lane patterns. Kegel is the official lane maintenance supplier of the Junior Gold Championships and USBC. We also want to thank all of the BowlTV community for being BowlTV subscribers, interacting in the chat throughout the show. We also would like to thank the competitors for providing such an amazing, amazing shows for us, all of the shows actually. And also for our production team. I can't name them all because too many people put this on. All the volunteers, all the folks at all the bowling centers that hosted here in Indianapolis, we certainly do appreciate it all. So for Carolyn Doran-Ballard, I'm Mike Flanagan. Thanks for watching the Junior Gold Championships. And remember, at BowlTV, bowling lives here. Have a good night, everybody. Okay, those of you that are watching on BowlTV, we're still here. We had to do that wrap up there for our YouTube
We're
cut.
still here. We're not going anywhere. Did you know there's another show?
Yeah. It's actually, we've got our top 5 is actually.
It's going to be, it's going to be Mike Flanagan and CDB against JT and the Von Kruger.
I like our chances.
I do too.
I like our chances very much, Carolyn. I'll let you bowl anchor. I'll.
Yes.
We've got all kinds of people here now chatting behind the scenes as this is our victory lap.
It is.
But what we do have for you here, BowlTV subscribers, is we do have the Team USA, Junior Team USA presentation. We have a special presentation for you that'll happen here in just a couple of minutes. But it's been a blast. Thanks for being with us all day long on BowlTV. And all week long with all the qualifying, Aaron Smith, Emil Williams Jr., Jason Thomas on the call. Curtis Von Kruger hung out at All-Star Lanes all week. He even worked through his birthday.
Yeah.
He was texting us all day. Do I really got to work on my birthday?
Yeah,
No, I'm just
there is
kidding.
no
He's
time.
standing right there.
There is no time off during Junior Gold, by the way.
No time off. No time off. But hopefully you enjoy the production, everybody. We worked pretty hard on this one. Well, there's a lot of celebrating still going on. I don't see where we're at. Looks like Gary Brown's coming over.
I think he's trying to rally everyone together here. I know Brian O'Keefe has been waiting, and he's over on the side.
Melissa McDaniel, USBC president.
There we go.
We've got some movement here. So, folks, CDB and I are going to leave the broadcast for the last time here. We're going to leave the house mic on. We'll have a wired mic set up, and you'll be able to tune in and check out all of the Junior Team USA festivities that are taking place here. All the new members of Junior Team USA. Brian O'Keefe, head coach, will be here. He is here, and Stephen Padilla. So, CDB, I'm signing off. I'm getting out of here. It's a pleasure to work with you.
As always, look forward to the next live stream.
If I could get everybody's attention who's still here over in the TV set area around 35 and 36, we have a very special presentation. Let's welcome our newest athletes to the 2022 Junior Team USA and Developmental Team USA. Joining us for this presentation, Director of High Performance, Stephen Padilla. Team USA Head Coach, Brian O'Keefe. USBC President, Melissa McDaniel. And IBC Youth Chair, Chrissy Kent. We'll start with our USBC Team USA Developmental Team for 2022 in our U15 Girls Division. Earning her spot by being first after qualifying from Powder Springs, Georgia, Erin Klemensick. Earning her spot by being second after qualifying from San Diego, California, Caitlin Abaganya. Earning the third spot by being the division runner-up for the U15 Girls Division from Crofton, Maryland, Kayla Starr. And the fourth member of our women's team in the U15 division from our U15 champion from Concord, North Carolina, Savannah Talon. Moving over to our guys division for our Team USA developmental program, earning a spot by being second after qualifying from Killeen, Texas, Keegan Alexander. Earning his spot by being third after qualifying from Shanahan, Illinois, Ethan Caruso. Earning the third spot by being the division runner-up in the U15 boys division from Lamont, Illinois, Trevor Ashby. Trevor, I know that's wrong. You're from Rawlings, Maryland, right? From Rawlings, Maryland, Trevor Ashby. And earning the fourth spot by being the high qualifier after qualifying and your U15 champion from Sycamore, Illinois, Landon Jordan. Let's give a big round of applause to our U15 Developmental Team USA. And now, let's welcome the newest athletes of 2022 Junior Team USA in our girls division. Earning her spot by being first after qualifying from Stowe, Ohio, Jillian Martin. Earning her spot by being second after qualifying from Ronkonkoma, New York, Amanda Najokis. Earning a spot on 2022 Junior Team USA by being third after qualifying and your U18 girls champion from Jarrell, Texas, Jael Hammond. Earning her spot by being fourth after qualifying from Ball Ground, Georgia, Annalise O'Brien. Earning a spot by being fifth after qualifying from Conway, South Carolina, Lindsay Ennis. And the final member of the women's division for Junior Team USA, your division runner-up from Stony Point, New York, Victoria Verano. And now to the guys earning their spots. The first one by being first after qualifying from Austin, Texas, Jordan Malott. Earning his spot by being second after qualifying from Poway, California, Zach Grime. Earning a spot by being third after qualifying and your U18 boys champion from Jackson, New Jersey, Brandon Bohn. Earning the next spot being fourth after qualifying from Springfield, Missouri, Spencer Robarge. Your fifth member, who was fifth after qualifying from Wichita, Kansas, Brandon Bonta. And earning his spot by being sixth after qualifying from Beverly Hills, California, Solomon Salama. Everybody, let's give a big round of applause for your 2022 Junior Team USA members. Everybody, thank you for joining us this year for the 2021 Junior Gold Championships. We hope to see you next year in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Everybody have a safe trip home, and we'll see you soon.